All right, I am out here in Fairfax County, Virginia, and it has been a while since I did my last pros and cons video. And as you can tell, there's some construction behind me and things are changing around here. So in this video, we're gonna break down all the pros and cons of living in Fairfax. So let's get right into the video. So let's talk about the biggest pro, and probably why you're watching this video is going to be the job market here in Fairfax. So we are in Fairfax Corner, and there's all these businesses around, and I see people walking to lunch, but you have so many big companies based here like Leidos, and then you have Capital One with their huge tower over in the Tysons area, and then you have Northrop Grumman to all these government contractors, and then of course the federal government, which if the federal government goes down, we're all going down with it anyways, right? But that is definitely one of the huge pros, as Fairfax has one of the highest medium income salaries per household in the United States. But let's keep talking about the pros and cons of Fairfax. All right, so another huge pro is obviously public transportation. So we are here in front of the Vienna Metro, and you can take this right into DC or Tysons Corner, Arlington, and then I'm also looking at all kinds of different buses. So there's all kinds of different public transportation options, and I'm even looking at the Capital Bike Share if you wanted to ride a bike. So you really don't need to own a car if you live here in Fairfax, which is definitely a huge pro. All right, so one of the biggest cons in Northern Virginia and Fairfax County, or DC in general, is going to be traffic. As you can tell, right behind me is 66, which is one of the worst roads in America. And then of course you have the Capitol Beltway, or 495. So if you're thinking about moving here, definitely do a consultation with us, and you can hit me up at the number below anytime, and we will talk to you about how the traffic is here. But definitely consider that. You may want to fly out here and just take a drive around on the morning commute and see what it's like. But traffic is definitely a part of life here in Fairfax County. So another huge pro is my favorite subject, of course, which is housing. And there is plenty of housing options here in Fairfax County. I mean, you can get a $300,000 condo in Centerville, Virginia, to a $1.5 million high-rise condo in Tysons Corner, Virginia, or a $10 million mansion in McLean in Great Falls, Virginia. There are all kinds of different housing options. Some of my favorite areas that people out of state or out of town like to look at, that I've sold several properties to, would be Herndon, which is a great town. A lot of people from Amazon Web Services have moved in there and they have really enjoyed it. And then Reston, of course, where you have the beautiful Reston Town Center that has all kinds of different housing options, whether it's townhouses, single families, or condos where you can walk to anywhere. And then of course Centerville, Virginia, which is located right off 66, and there are plenty of different townhouse options and single family options there as well. Now obviously, as you can tell, I am a housing expert here on Fairfax County, so definitely hit me up at this number below if you want to do a consultation with me. But let's keep going into the pros and cons of Fairfax. One of the bigger cons of living in Fairfax is it can get really expensive. There is a high cost of living, and that's probably one of the biggest complaints I hear about Fairfax. Another huge complaint about Virginia is we have a thing called personal property tax, which you have to pay on your car or your boat. So if you own multiple vehicles, you could have to pay a couple $1,000s a year. And then of course, Fairfax, with such high property values, has high real estate taxes. So if you're looking for a home, definitely keep that in mind, because that's going to be part of your monthly payment. So high cost of living is definitely part of living here in Fairfax. All right, so one of the biggest pros to Fairfax is going to be the Tyson's Corner area. It has definitely just expanded and exploded in the last few years. And of course, you have the Tyson's Corner Mall with all the high-end shopping like the Versace, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Then you have the Capital One building and all these brand new high-rise luxury condo buildings coming in. And there is just so much to do there. And then of course, right around the corner, you have McLean and Great Falls with all these multi-million-dollar mansions. Some of them go all the way up to $50 million, if you can believe it. And then another one of my favorite spots is going to be Fairfax City, where the infamous Johnny Depp trial is, but there's all kinds of local restaurants and shopping and the courthouse there as well. So just so much to do here in Fairfax. Let's get into some of the cons of living here in Fairfax County. So another huge con of living in Fairfax in the Virginia area is the weather. So on Sunday, it was 65. Monday, it snowed. And then today is Tuesday, and it's like 30 degrees outside. And my cameraman is dressed like we're in Fargo, North Dakota. And you can tell I'm kind of just in like leisurely clothes here, but the weather can definitely get extreme if you are not used to that. In the summer, it gets blistering hot here. It can be in the hundreds. So just keep that in mind. And thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, hit me up if you're thinking about buying or selling a house, and definitely subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys later from Fairfax County.